Alrighty guys, if you don't know who I am, my name is Shook. I make videos for NBA, I make videos for NFL. All of those videos get posted on this subreddit called DF Sports. Here you can find my people of other post other great content here too. You can find my posts here as under the username Shook. I make updates with all of the news that comes out. People, ask me questions. People talk strategy here. A really, really great place to be. And then if you ever are interested in my Discord, I'll have a link to that below where I make player pools like for cash and GPPs. I give you guys cores. I make private videos, stuff like that. Link to that will be down in the comments. So it's going to be a good night for me. I'm not going to show you my lineup because I'm not going to sweat it. I'm not going to sweat I don't sweat my lineups. That's why I usually make these videos after the slate happens. But I just want to go lay down, man. This video is going to be a really short one. I know I don't personally know Hamlin, the guy on the Bills, but like just seeing that dude, that can traumatize people. Like that can really, really have an effect on some people, and like it just. I don't know. It sucks. It's been hard to like focus on things ever since that happened. Like in Discord, I'm like trying to reply to people. Um, it's tough, and I hope he's really, really okay. Hopefully some good news comes in the coming days. Um, so we're just gonna make this a quick one. I'm gonna try and get through this as quick as possible as I can for you guys. But it should be 4 straight days of cashing in NBA for me. So I hope you guys had a good night as well. And yeah, um, thoughts and prayers go out to the Hamlin family. So we got a 3-game slate here. We have Boston going up against Oklahoma City Thunder. I think it's a good matchup here for Boston. Oklahoma City, they play fast. They are third in pace, and they're not too good defensively. They're like middle of the pack. 11th. Oh, they're better than I thought. 11th in defensive rating. So close that. So Tatum at the top in a good matchup, I think is going to could be quite popular tomorrow. I think I just have this like feeling that he's going to be popular. I don't know why, but I think other spend ups look a lot better. I think he ranks like pretty low for me on the spend ups for tomorrow, but I feel like he's going to get some ownership. I don't know. I have a weird feeling that he's going to get ownership, but I think 10-7 is like more post appropriately for him. I think, normally he's, going to get you around like on average like 50 fantasy points. He does have that like 70-point ceiling. He's a guy that can stuff the stat sheet. He does have triple double upside. It's a good matchup, so yeah, I can get behind some Tatum, but I think some other spend ups rank a little bit closer to me. I think Jaylen Brown is once again at a price point to where I'd much rather play Jason Tatum, but I think both are firmly in play in a good matchup for GPPs. I think Marcus Smart might be my favorite play between the main three guys. I think Marcus Smart at 6K. We don't have much value on the slate right now, so it might be like a one spend up and more mid range. Marcus Smart's a guy that, can stuff the stat sheet, get those defensive stats. Once again, Oklahoma City Thunder, they play so fast, and I think this is a spot where Marcus Smart could just absolutely feast on the defensive stats, like in transition, stuff like that. So I do like Smart in the mid range at $6,000. It's funny. He's been like $6,000 like the whole year. It's absolutely funny. It's where he should be though, but I think he's a solid play at 6K considering it's a 3-game slate. Malcolm Brogdon, should play around 20 minutes. Has a ceiling. He will get extended if he's playing extremely well. So he's always in play for GPPs. Here's where my favorite parts of Boston comes. I really like both the bigs here. So if Robert Williams is in, he's not going to play much, but he's probably going to play like 20 minutes. Oklahoma City Thunder, I believe, is second worst in the league against opposing bigs. So this is a spot that we're definitely going to want to attack here. So I do think Robert Williams is a pretty good value play, and I think Al Horford is a pretty good value play regardless if Robert Williams is in or out. Now, he hasn't flashed a ceiling really with Robert Williams in, but if Robert Williams is out, Al Horford's going to become a very chalky value, but I think it would be pretty good chalk. There's not much value on this slate. No, Robert Williams definitely boosts his ceiling and his floor. So, um, if this is an if-then statement, if Robert Williams is out, Al Horford looks like a really good value play. If Robert Williams is in, then I still think Horford's good, and then I would like Al Horford for value, or I would like Robert Williams for value. Of course, fucking overtime, man. Of course, dude. Fuck. Sorry, guys. Absolutely brutal. I do have Looney and Draymond, but Klay Thompson is just absolutely nuking the slate. And I got off Klay Thompson because Yusuf Nurkic got ruled in. I went from Klay, Drew Eubanks to Draymond and Looney, and that Klay's just nuking the slate. Derek White, man, with everyone healthy, he's fine. Like him and Brogdon, like their minutes are kind of all over the place. I will say Derek White is probably safer than Brogdon, but he's the much worse fantasy producer. So, I mean, he's fine. He's playable, but I'd much rather go to like Robert Williams or Al Horford. Grant Williams, I think he's fine. He'll play like 25 to 30 minutes. More out there for his defense, though. Guy that's going to stand in the corner. Playable value. We don't have much value, so yeah, he's playable. All right, guys. Boston, tough matchup here for Oklahoma City. The Boston Celtics are 15th in pace and 7th in defensive rating. So SGA has kind of been down the past two games. I'm not too worried about that. He was in a tough matchup against the Sixers. I think this is a better matchup considering Philly plays a lot slower, and I feel like excuse me, some of the defense they play in some spots could be a little bit better than the Celtics. I think individually, though, it might be a tougher matchup for SGA, but SGA is matchup proof. I will say with Josh Giddey in, his peripheral stats are way down, so the floor is much lower. But SGA, a guy, he's an elite scorer. He's matchup proof. I think he's fine. Definitely ranks below Tatum for me. Definitely ranks below the other spin ups, but I think it's fine. Giddey, some games he's going to play 20 minutes. Some games he's going to play mid 30s minutes. If I knew Giddey was going to play mid 30s minutes at this price tag, I would like him, but he would be too cheap. But who knows? So there is extreme risk with Giddey. Lou Dort, no thank you. Jalen Williams, I think is priced appropriately. Like super safe play, but once again, does he really have a ceiling on this slate? I think he's fine. Kendrick Williams, no thank you. They've been starting Jalen Williams at the 5. If he continues to start, he's playable. But once again, you can't trust the minutes here. I know he got into a little bit. I think he got into foul trouble, and then the game blew out. But he would be playable. Like, not something I'm going to go out of my way to play, but he would be playable. And then I think Muscala is getting the backup 5 run. Like, I just don't think we need to go there. Baisley's basically been out of the rotation. I don't understand why. Makes no sense to me. So let's move on to Washington. Really tough matchup here for Washington. The Milwaukee Bucks are 14th in pace. They're first in defensive rating. We have Bradley Beal questionable. If Bradley Beal's in, I think Beal would be my favorite, and I think Monte would be an okay play. I like Rui Hachimura for value regardless. It seems like they want to give him decent minutes off the bench, and he's not a terrible point per minute producer. I think he'll go a little bit over owned tomorrow, but I think regardless, Rui is a pretty good value play. They've been starting Daniel Gafford. If he continues to start, the only worry here is foul trouble, because he'll be playing, I don't know who he's going to be guarding, but he'll be playing under the basket where Giannis drives, so definitely a risk of foul trouble. But if he starts, I'm fine with it. I wonder what they're going to do if Gafford and Taj is out. They're probably going to go with I don't even know who they start. I have no idea. Kispert, it would be Beal, Kispert, Kuzma, Porzingis, Denny maybe? I don't know. I have no idea. But we'll see. If Beal is out, then you can consider Porzingis. You can consider Kyle Kuzma. But once again, very, very tough matchup. Just tournament only plays for me. Monte Morris would definitely get a boost at 5K. He would be an okay option. I think I prefer Mike Conley, though, for a little bit more. Denny probably plays close to 30 minutes. He would be an okay value play at 4.6K. And I would still like Rui quite a bit. And then Will Barton's basically been out of the rotation, so can't go there. Let's move on to Milwaukee. Good matchup here for Milwaukee. Washington is 18th in pace and 12th in defensive rating. So we do have Drew Holiday most likely back. He is probable. I think that hurts Giannis, but it's a 3-game slate. Giannis is on the slate. He's going to do everything for this team. He's going to just absolutely destroy Washington with the rebounds, too. I don't think anyone's going to be able to out-rebound Giannis tomorrow. And, man, if Gafford starts, oh, my God, Giannis is going to be in an amazing spot. I don't think Gafford would be on Giannis, but Gafford is just a guy that I want to target on the opposing end. So if Gafford is in and he starts, I do like Giannis a lot. I think he's just going to be absolutely able to abuse that spot. Drew Holiday, if he plays, I don't think I can go there. I think it's just Giannis at the top for me. And then Bobby Portis, he'll get more minutes with no Middleton. Probably plays 25 to 30. Okay, tournament option. And then I'm probably not going to go to anyone else. I think Grayson would be a fine value play, but with Drew in, that takes up a lot of usage. Javon Carter out of play with Drew back. Pat Connaughton will probably see rotational minutes. Okay value play. Joe Ingles will probably play 15-ish minutes. Don't think we need to go there. Let's move on to Sacramento. Good spot here for the Kings. Utah is 12th in pace, and they're not good. 27th in defensive rating. I think Sabonis looks phenomenal tomorrow. The Utah Jazz are just absolutely horrid against bigs. I absolutely love Sabonis tomorrow. Fox, I think, is overpriced. Kevin Huerter, if he's in, I think is a solid play in the mid-range. Barnes, Keegan, playable. If these two are out, though, I think Terrence Davis is going to become a very, very popular play at the flat mid. I'd assume he'd get a big minutes increase if those two are out. We're going to have to monitor what they do with the starting lineup, but the guys that would benefit with those two out would be Harrison Barnes and Keegan Murray and Terrence Davis. But we'll have to monitor what they do with the starting lineup. But all three would be firmly in play, and I think Terrence Davis would be a very good value play. Trey Lyles has been in the rotation, just a dart, but I thought I would mention him. But got to keep an eye on that Huerter news. That Huerter news is massive. Phenomenal news, or phenomenal matchup here for Utah. I think Markkanen's fine. I wish he was a little bit cheaper, but he's been on a tear of late. I think this is a spot where he could absolutely explode. So I do like Markkanen. I think Clarkson is a fine GPP play. Hasn't really flashed that ceiling of late, but I'm totally okay with it. Mike Conley, I think, is a pretty solid play in the mid-range. Just an auto lock for pretty much like 30 fantasy points. And at 5.3K, I'll definitely take that. So I do like Mike Conley. Kelly Olynyk, fine option. Not going to go out of my way to play him, but I'm okay with him if I land on him as a last man in. Jared Vanderbilt, this guy has just caused me incredible amounts of pain. No thank you. I think that's it, guys. So sorry for the short video. I just want to, get to bed. I'll talk to you guys later, and I hope you have a good night.